I've been lifting weight. Yeah. I'm feeling real good now. Yeah. That's right. Set my screen up. Woo! Yeah. That's right. I'm feeling good now. Let me rock this out, man. Let's rock this out. Let's rock it out. What up, family? 2017. It gets better. One God, one aim, one destiny. That's all we need. One destiny, one destiny. One God, one aim, one destiny. It's only right.
To the land, the mother to the child. Yeah. The winners, the losers, the clock, the calendar, the dial. Victory isn't short, but the time is now. It's a letter to the grand chiefs, a message to the few. Made a will of the law, got the actions that you do. This is the job of the bomb.
Yeah.
Careful what you do.
Yeah.
You for the human soul, the force be the true. As you enter the grand test.
We love this.
The rack splinters of the MST.
We love y'all. The business
is back together, but with no correction. No adjustments, and we got no time. Let it manifest. All right is a feather in your chest. New skills for infiltrators and forever no rest. This line is for the members. It's past time to surrender.
It's past time
to waste. Get your boots tied more.
Get your boots tied more.
Soul on fire. It's a double-edged
yes.
sword. Each one, teach
that's right.
No more. Flame on, holy seal. Victory
peace to the
sure.
family.
Put your hands on. We working towards excellent rewards. Earn yours. Finally, a message to the man in the mirror. Purity's a must. I can't put it any clearer. You lose your bloody splendor, then get caught up in fear. 3 steps, be sincere, don't get left down here. Beat lust, don't stare, you're near, feel it in the air. Beat the clock like a stopwatch. This is the year. Stop watching the fight.
Fill it up.
We're almost there. God, one aim, one destiny.
That's it, man. I've been pumped up, man. We just need some unity, man. Man.
One destiny. One God, one aim, one destiny. Let's
go. We're gonna start this off.
The clock, the calendar, the dial. Victory isn't short, but the time is now. Sounds like the theme music when it's war time.
Let's go. First and foremost, I rise giving praise to the great God of the universe, Allah. I give honor to his noble, illustrious prophet, noble Drew Ali, who is the first Moorish American Muslim. I give honor to all those who are dedicating their lives, or even a portion of their lives, to instructing and enlightening people as to what a Moorish American Muslim is. Those who keep the doors open, those who haven't went in the doors, but teaching outside the doors. I give honor to all of y'all in the chat, because when I honor man, woman, I honor the great God of the universe, whom we say in the Moorish Science Temple of America, we choose to call Allah. And with that, family, we looking good. We looking good. I got the great man God in the building. I'm surprised because this brother is real busy. He monitored the chat, but today he gonna monitor some of this information and give out a little bit of information. So first, let me give y'all the intro. What's going on here? First of all, recently, while y'all was partying, I know some of y'all Moors don't act like y'all wasn't out partying. You know, I was with my family too. I don't drink no sauce, and I get tired around about 11ish. You know, I get tired. So 12:15, I was heading home. I was at my brother's house. Y'all might seen a few pictures on Facebook, but I was heading home. I ain't got time. I'm tired, man. I believe that Greco calendar is messed up anyway. So I was tired. I was heading on home, you know. But for all those who still like that Greco calendar and that New Year's, I say Happy New Year to you, you know. Because if we living in that paradigm, in that matrix, it is a new year. I ain't to be fake ass stuff out. And if we not, see you when your new year come. Like the Moors, we have our New Year coming up soon. But whatever the case, I went on home. But while y'all was sleeping, y'all was chilling. Yeah, my good brother was up to his same old tricks. He was up to his same old tricks. Now, I ain't gonna call no name. Maybe it wasn't a trick. I don't know. But it's like, if you keep on swinging and I'm jabbing, and then I swing back, I jab you, bang, I knock you out. You get up again. Bang, this fool won't die. You know what I'm saying? I jab you. I got some skills. I jab you up. But you just keep coming. I got to almost surmise that you're not going to stop. So guess what? We're not going to dedicate a whole bunch of time to the topic, because our prophet teach us that we don't tarry on the coast too long. So we ain't going to tarry on the coast too long. See what that means is some people just ain't going to get it, so we just ain't going to stay stuck with it. So we ain't going to tarry on the coast too long. But I'm going to come back in a minute and show you what we're talking about. But let me just give y'all a little idea of what this show will be about tonight. Well, you know, you'll be able to see the background in a second. And in the background, you'll see that while you were sleeping, there's become some new characters in the unconscious conscious community, otherwise known as the world conscious community of entertainment. And that's what it is. Because if you go to the channel and you listen to this comic relief, and that's what I'm going to call it. Shout out to the brothers. I think the brothers was witty. I was very entertained. I was not educated, but I was very entertained. Oh man, they remind me of EPMD, the Green-Eyed Bandit, and Parrish Smith. They remind me of bum skibbity, that's a fact. They were going back and forth talking about, they was quoting, oh my goodness, the prophet Noble Ali. They was quoting the old statements. I mean, majority of which they quoted was the old statement. And they was going back and forth. And they quoting the old statements when I know people that was on the investigative team that compiled and researched the old statements. And I tell everybody, be careful with the old statements, because I know how they were put together. And there's a lot of Moors say, I know my prophet. So when you hear some of the Moors old statement, the only way you'll be able to ride out for sure in your heart is you have to know the prophet. Anyway, they went back and forth talking about not even the topic in which the title was called. The Wonder Twins. Mind you, if you look to the right of the screen, the Wonder Twins was a male and a female, and they were Europeans. But he allowed the ringleader of the three-ring circus to call them the Wonder Twins. Because, see, off the break, I'd have been like, oh, I used to watch the Super Friends. And I know how words, spells can be cast, and I don't want that cast on me, because I've been already in a caste system, and I don't want no cast, no spell cast on me, and I've already been in the caste system. I'm good. Just call me my name. Period. Not the Wonder Twins. Make up something else. Shout out to the Pillars. Now that's hard. The Pillars. Red pill and blue pill. Now that's hard. But the Wonder Twins, this is what we talk about. So we already know that we are some comic relief. With that, let me bring my brothers in. I know I'll be yelling. I'm going to try to stop yelling for 2017. I'm trying to stop. I get excited. I get really excited. You know, they not going to debate Brother Taharka. This stuff is corny. They not. I see y'all say one, but with that being said, Brother Nasir, beloved, how you doing, brother? Come on into the chat and let the people know who you are, where you're from, and what you up to, and what you do.
Islam. Can you hear me, brother?
Yes, sir, I can hear you very well.
Indeed, perfectly. First of all, as I rise, La ilaha illallah. There is no person, deity, or thing worthy of worship save Allah. He is the author, the creator, the governor of the world, almighty, eternal, and incomprehensible. All praise is due to Allah. Highest of honors to his prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I'm going to give honors to the Moorish flag, the red flag with the green five-pointed star in the center, representing the 5 highest principles known to man, which are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I'm going to give honors to the forerunner prophet, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Deuce Ali, and Elijah Muhammad. I want to give honors also to all grand bodies of the Moorish Science Temple of America and to our Hebrew Israelite brethren. Islam, Moor.
Islam. And I must say too, man, shout out to my Hebrew Israelite brothers. Shout out. Y'all know we ride out. Zion Lex, you know we ride out. You know, so all of this putting this confusion in the mix, nah, we ain't going for it. You know we ride out. But with that being said, I got my other brother right on down from the Jersey. What they call that from the New Jersey. From NW Jersey, where plenty murders occurs. That's what they say. I'm from NW Jersey, where plenty murders occurs. No time of this. I zoned out. Anyway, Moorish Hawk, how you doing, my brother? Are you there, my brother? Or are you cooking them babies some vegetarian food that you made a resolution to do this year?
It's up. Y'all leave it. Okay.
I told you, you hear the babies. That's that good Moorish farmer there. Go ahead, brother. We can wait.
Indeed.
Islam, peace, shalom. I would like to give praise to the Almighty God Allah. I would like to give honors to his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, whose Earth Day is coming up, January 8th. That's all, another holy day for us. I would like to give honors to Brother Tahaka. I would like to give honors to Brother Big Bro Nas. Y'all know Big Bro Nas from the chat.
Islam.
And honors to everybody listening in the future, listening right now, and honors to everybody in the chat. Peace.
Peace. So while y'all was away, before we get to this, I believe that all Moors should maybe consider those, especially Ali's men or any Moors associated with me, should have maybe give their little spill on this, because this is straight an attempt to divide and conquer. This is all it is. It's a straight attempt to divide and conquer. Now, being a Moorish American Muslim, it's no secret that we are connected at the hip to the Israelites. There is no secret. So it seems as if somebody is putting a monkey wrench in the game, as if this is some newfound information. But the trick is, this is the trick. The conversation that the brothers had was making the connection primarily of the Moorish and the Israelite connection. But the title gives the connotation, and the brothers did mention it. However, the title gives the connotation that Prophet Noble Drew Ali was somehow confused, or he just wasn't ready to deliver the full message of being a Hebrew Israelite, or something like that. But let me tell you this. I'm going to start here, and then I'm going to let my brother Nasir. The same thing, they quoted all of this stuff. They quoted all of this stuff to try to say that Prophet Noble Drew Ali is a Hebrew Israelite. Now listen close, family. Listen close. They quoted all of this stuff. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he held up 3 things, and he said, take these and save yourself. There was the Circle 7, which they affectionately call it the Circle 7, but it's the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, divinely prepared by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. They held up the Constitution and bylaws, and he held up the questionnaire. Take these and save yourself. Now, all of these quotes that these brothers are quoting, I can get the brother on the phone right now, Brother D. Editon Ill. He was on the research team to help put it together. And what he did was he talked to elders, Mind you, if I can talk to the one that helped put them together, guess what? It happened rather recent. He talked to the elders when he was younger. Brother Deactivate is an elder now. And he talked to the elders and he took this stuff. He wrote it, not only him, it was a team of them. I know the brothers. Anyway, so you have to be careful when you start quoting things. You have to know where it come from, what's the origin, and what's the source, and how valuable or secure it may be. But that's fine if you wanted to quote all of that. But what you should have did is quoted with the black, with the brother say, Black Power. Yes, okay, I get it, Prince. Just don't be disrespectful. What you should have did was quoted what our prophet brought us. And what our prophet brought us on page 3 of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Temple of America. Listen to this, family, because I can shut the show down right here. But we'll entertain this for a second. The industrious, I'm going to calm down. The industrious acts of the Muslims of Northwest, Southwest Africa. These are Moabites, Hamatites, Canaanites, who were driven out of the land of Canaan by Joshua and received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle in that portion of Egypt. In later years, they formed kingdoms. These kingdoms are called today Morocco, Algiers, Tunis, Tripoli, etc. Let me go back real quick. These are the Moabites, the Hamatites, and the Canaanites. All the people of Israel, genealogy, origin, whatever you want to call it, comes out the land of Canaan. Those are our brothers. They are our brothers, period. Now, with that, I'm going to let my brother speak on it, and I got a few clips I'm going to play, but I'm going to let my brother Nasir touch on it. Nasir, are you familiar with the video, my brother?
Yes, I've been watching that.
Oh, excellent, excellent. What is your spill on the Israelite and the Moorish connection, brother?
All right. First of all, the easy answer is, so what? All right. This is something that we've already known forever.
Yeah, it's not no new information. Exactly. I'm sorry. Come on, brother.
Indeed. In our temple, we have plenty of Moors that are Israelites. Number one, I'm going to give a shout out to my brother Raphael or Randall Anderson Bay. That's in the chat right now. He's one of the Israelites that are Moors. My brother Serene, same thing. It's not a problem. The issue that we're having is that these brothers have said that Noble Drew Ali was secretly teaching another doctrine when he was teaching what he was teaching. The big issue is that, you know, there's two things that are the problem. Problem number one is Islam. No one wants to honor Islam, so they want to go around that. Issue number two is the Moabite issue. They want to go around that as well. Noble Drew Ali was real specific because, you know, when it comes to Islam, because just as you read something, let me read something. This is called Our Authority. And what Our Authority is what? Our authority, right?
Yes, sir.
It says, the Moorish Temple of America, deriving its power and authority from the great Quran of Muhammad to propagate the faith and extend the learning and truth of the great prophet of Ali or Allah in America, to appoint and consecrate missionaries of the prophet and to establish the faith of Muhammad in America. It is what it is. Islam.
Islam. And it's just that basic. It's just that simple. But when people want to try to agitate and be a provocateur, instead of trying to unite, listen.
More. Can I get one more thing real quick?
Yes, sir.
Another issue that I had when I watched the video was that they wanted to take us away from being African, right?
Yes, yes.
Now, they even quoted the Circle 7 and tried to say, and even though the Circle 7 said specific things. Now, they quoted chapter 48, verse 6, when they said that we're not to amalgamate with the Europeans, right? Even though they misquoted it, but that's all right. We can rock with that a little bit. Let's see what it says. In verse 6, it says, we, as a clean and pure nation, descend from the inhabitants of Africa, right? We are undoubtedly Africans. You can't take Africa out of the Moors. You can't take the Moors out of Africa. That's what I wanted to add as well. We can't be in that understanding.
And brother, guess what? We have to continue to repeat that over and over and over. And I've been repeating this on the show because before I started repeating that, people really believed that Moors was not Africans. They would say things like Moors enslaved Africans, when Moors are Africans. That would just like be saying, quote unquote, white people enslaved Europeans. What type of misnomer is that? That's silly.
Exactly.
That is silly. Moors enslaved Africans. Moors enslaved Africans. That's one of the most silliest arguments I've ever heard in my life. And people rock with it. The Moors are this. Well, guess what? The Moors are Africans. And you are descended from them. And whether you like it or not, we suffer slavery by not following the principles of our foreparents. Period, point blank. Moorish Hawk, are you there, my brother? Moorish Hawk,
I think it's off.
Moorish Hawk, he be tending to them babies. But nevertheless, here we go. So let me first deal with a little small issue. I want y'all to listen to this, if I can. Let's see. See if y'all can hear this. Let me see if y'all can hear this real quick. Here we go.
The controversy is at an all-time high.
Listen to this.
We got the It's at an all-time high.
Listen to what y'all hear. I want y'all to hear this.
Family. The controversy is at an all-time high.
See, first we got to listen to the manipulation. Family, please pay attention to the manipulation. All right, one moment, Moorish Hawk. Okay. When you start off something and you say that the controversy is at an all-time high, you have already set the tone for some confusion to start. See, we are not about to cause no confusion because our Hebrew Israelite brothers are joined at the hip with us. We don't deny that. We are joined at the hip. Moorish Hawk, I'll let you come on in, brother. Have you seen the video, my brother?
Yes, indeed.
What do you get from the video that you've seen? Like I said, we're not going to stay too long, but we're going to address it and hit and run, and then we're going to something else. But come on, my brother.
Well, the main thing was that they said Noble Jali was an Hebrew Israelite. Right?
Uh-huh.
So in our doctrine, they say, what is his nationality? Meaning, what is Noble Jali's nationality? And it's Moorish American.
Right.
There's nothing in our doctrine that says that alludes to the fact that he's a Hebrew Israelite. Not throwing out the connection, though. The Hebrew Israelite connection is a more ancient connection, which we in modern times now using modern names. Because he said, what was Ruth? Ruth was a Moabite. What is the modern name for a Moabite? It's Moroccan. So now we're dealing with modern names now, right? So we're Moors today, right?
Right.
So another thing is this: our Moors, Africans, all that stuff is misunderstanding and confusion. So if you go to chapter 47, it say, according to all true and divine records of the human race, there is no Negro, black, or colored race attached to the human family, because all the inhabitants of Africa, were and are of the human race, descendants of the ancient Canaanite nation from the Holy Land of Canaan. So the only place where it's a discrepancy is between people saying that, we all originated in Africa, and then some people say, we originated in Asia, which is always going to be debatable because you got the modern anthropologists and all these people that said they found, just the oldest bones was found in Africa. Well, we know the whole story hasn't been told, so I'll go with my prophet on that level, on that one right there. So he's not saying that we're not African. He's saying that the inhabitants of Africa originally come out of Asia. That's all it's saying. It's not saying that we're not African. And then we got to see, when you say Hebrew Israelite, we need to ask people, what is a Hebrew Israelite? You know, would it? Because you never see those two terms used together in the Bible. So when we go to the Bible, we know that Hebrew is considered a language today. And we know some people ascribe the origin of the word Hebrew to the word Eber. Eber was used as a national name for people in Numbers. If you go to Numbers 24:24 in the Bible, you'll see that Eber was used as a name for a nation of people at that time. Others trace the word Hebrew to mean to pass over. Then if you go to Genesis 14:13, that's the first time the word Hebrew was used in the Bible, in which Abraham was called Abram the Hebrew. This statement, Abram the Hebrew, could simply imply a man from the region beyond, which means he wasn't a native of Canaan. He came from Mesopotamia. As the Bible, this is all from the Bible. The Bible teaches us that Abraham was not a native of the land of Canaan. In Genesis 11:31, Abraham and his family, including his nephew Lot, the father of Moab. So the nephew of Moab. So Lot is Abraham's nephew, which is later became the father of Moab, the father of the Moabites, which shows you that the Moabites and the Israelites are connected right there. We don't even got to go down the roof. We can see it right there in the beginning.
That's right. Fact.
Right there in the beginning.
Fact.
Lot is the father of Moab, and he's the nephew of Lot, which makes Moab the great nephew of Lot.
And right? See, a Moorish, this is what makes this so silly, that people are quoting quotes and not doing their research. And it's all in the name of division. And I say that to say, I say it because, and I have to say it and call a spade a spade. This European has done some work to us.
Right.
In such a way that we fight to look for what separates us. And when I say us, I'm talking about those who try to perpetuate some form of division and conflict. Remember what the brother said when he started the presentation. Let's hear it again. Remember what the brother said. The brother said, this is, how did he say it? Let me see if I can get it back real quick. He said something to the effect that this is, here we go.
The controversy is at an all-time high.
Y'all just see what I'm saying? The controversy is at an all-time high. There is no controversy. There is none. Moorish Hawk just broke down that we come from the same place.
Right.
We are the same people. But so we're going to move on from that real quick. Let me play another clip real quick. Let me go.
Check this out. We're bringing you irrefutable evidence that Prophet Noble Drew Ali was a Hebrew Israelite.
Let me stop right there. If you go and watch this video, and I don't want to promote the channel, but this is a time to learn something. If you go and check out the video, he said irrefutable evidence. Irrefutable. That means that we can't even, there's no way we can refute it. Irrefutable. Mind you, there was no irrefutable evidence. None. I went through the whole video. That's how I got these clips. That's how I got these clips. I went through the whole video and I chopped it up. And I say, what evidence can I use to try to refute? So I found this real quick.
But the point is this. And also, why did Noble Drew Ali, for you individuals sitting home on your couches wondering, like, what evidence are they coming with? Well, why did he actually name the Moorish Temple the Canaanite Temple?
You ever hear about that? Is anybody familiar with the original Canaanite Temple? Let me tell you something. They say that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali named the Moorish Temple, the original Moorish Temple of America, the Canaanite Temple. And now this is up for debate a little bit, but it doesn't change the fact that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was a part of the Canaanite Temple in Newark, New Jersey. But did the Prophet Noble Drew Ali found the Canaanite Temple? I'm still on some research on that. Brother Nasir, are you there?
Islam, what's going on?
Are you familiar with the history of the Canaanite Temple in New Jersey?
As far as who established it, I was under the impression that it was Noble Drew Ali was one of the ones that established it, because it was him and another brother, and the other brother was a Christian, if I remember correctly. Right?
Exactly. So
now,
come on.
You know, some of the things that that we have an issue with is the whole thing of the secrecy of the Moors, right? Everybody wants to equate the Moors with being something like a Masonic group or something like that, because we have, you know, customs and traditions. That could be, of course, nothing could be farther from the truth. When it comes to being Masons, that is not what we do in any way, shape, form, or fashion. When it comes to, all right, this is one of the things we wanted to really get into, is that the Moabite connection. You know, and since people want to know what the Moors think and how the Moors think when it comes to these lessons, let's get into it. Chapter 19, right? Verse 35 to 37, it talks about justice, or Jesus. And it says, he told his story. He told the story of his human life, of trials, sword, temptations, buffeting, and woes. He pressed along the thorny way of life till he had risen and overthrown the strongest foes of Allah and man. And he is now the only master of the human race whose flesh has been transmuted into flesh divine. He is the God-man of today, but everyone on earth shall become and be like him, a son of Allah. Now, when we talk about the son of Allah, what does that translate into? What group of people would that translate into? The son of Allah. That would be the Moabites, right? Moab. You know, they want to look at Moabite and look at it as far as Lot and his daughter sleeping with him and things of that nature. However, that's not a story that we draw off of. Is that is where the Moors have come from. You know, we have our own history and our own line of succession and our own hows and whys. We don't need someone else to really tell us who and what we are. You know, to go away from the Moabite connection is to take us away from the connection of us and Allah. Also, you know, the Moors and the Israelites have had a very similar path, right? We both started in the Levant region. Went past Egypt. Now, Egypt is the point of contention. They had a bad experience in Egypt. We had a good experience in Egypt. We got permission to go to North Africa. They eventually made it to North Africa, and we both went into Spain, right? And eventually to America, XYZ. So after all that time, the mixture is there. My issue is that, you know, when it comes to the Moors and the Moorish Science Temple of America, it is a specific path with a specific doctrine and a specific outlook on religion in every facet of life, right? What they want to do is put someone else's overlay over it. Either you are it or you are not it. It is what it is.
Facts.
And there's no way around it. So to try to make, you know, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali a one West Israelite just ain't gonna get it.
Yeah, and
their doctrine ain't our doctrine. You know, our vibrations ain't their vibrations. We are undoubtedly African in descent. It ain't no way around it. You know, and while we, you know, rock with the Israelites, it has to be a certain level of, all right, of hold to a degree when it comes to these things, because you just can't take someone else and just overlay them over your doctrine. Nobody does that. A Sunni is a Sunni. A Shiite is a Shiite. Everybody else is who they are. An Israelite is an Israelite. But when it comes to the Moors, everybody wants to overcoat the Moors with their own thing. Nah, we have our own thing. And we don't need someone else and their doctrine placed over ours. To be right, to be with us and the rock with us and do what needs to get done, that's fine and dandy. And we can go through the history. We've been family, you know, since, you know, and then they want to take away they want to automatically discount the Ruth part. You know, the Ruth part is very key. In that, there's a reason why she's always mentioned, and she's always mentioned as being Ruth the Moabite. It is very important. You know, you can't take that away just because you don't honor the, you don't honor the mother, you know, or you don't honor the female principal. That has nothing to do with us. That's not our teachers. That's not how we ride. So, you know, it is what it is, Moab.
One more. So, boy, we got a call on the line real fast. Let's see what we got. Islam, who I'm speaking with? Hold on. Okay, come back again, my brother.
Islam, Dog Invaders, Brother Brian.
Brother Brian, how you doing, my brother? Welcome to Moorish World TV. Brother, talk to me. What's going on with you? Where you from? Tell the family where you from. They don't remember you.
Well, you know, I'm from North New Jersey, and I'm out in LA right now.
All right, my brother, talk to me. What's going on? Are you familiar with the topic that's going on right now?
Yeah, I just wanted to call and express my discontent with everybody trying to, clone themselves on our movement.
Brother, it's all right. We use it as a teaching moment. You know what I'm saying?
Why they keep trying to clone themselves on our movement?
Brother, let me explain something to you. Prophet Noble Drew Ali has the answer and the saving power.
Explain to me what's going on. Why are people against you? Why can't they be content with what they got going on?
Brother, what I'm trying to tell you is that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali has the answer and he has the saving power. If this message gets out, we are liberated. So some people are maybe taking a check or working for some people to try to stop the message to get out. But we, the good people here at Moorish World TV, is going to get the good fight out. Some more say, man, leave that stuff alone. Don't keep addressing that stuff. But guess what? Our children are listening. So I decide to address it. Brother Nas, you want to come in, my brother, real quick?
Indeed. I want to add on to what the brother was saying and answer him to a degree. In the Circle 7, it says that, in one part it says that, we are to be the Lord, things of the plane of manifest, right? And in this another part, it says that we are to be the strength of Allah made manifest. Now, everybody wants to be a part of that. That's why, I don't have, like I said, I don't have a problem with us being, with them being part and partial. It's just my issue specifically is also that the teaching was being taught is that Noble Drew Ali got his chops and got his teaching from the Israelites. Now, and especially when it comes to being from the name ill. Now, according to the Aquarian records, as we call them, Abraham went where? He went into Canaan, right? Land of the Moors, right? Or the Moors' forefathers. Who did he go see? What was the first thing he did when he got there? He went to go see Melchizedek, right?
That's right.
Who was Melchizedek? He was the king of Salem, right? And who was the god that he prayed to? El Elyon, correct? El has always been there. Allah has always been there.
That's right.
So when the brothers up here say that, the Moors don't, the Moors are not Muslims or Muslims, that could be farther from the truth, because we are who we are. And if you start your Islam with the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, then you have a problem. And we can go farther into that, because that's a whole different thing that we do with our Islamic brothers. So Noble Drew Ali didn't get his chops, or the Moors didn't get their chops of ill or bay from the Israelites. To be honest, we know who got whose chops from who, and it's all right. We all family. It's all is well.
All is well. All is well. Brian, what'd you say, my brother?
Yeah, continue. As the brother, I want you and him to continue to carry on this. The prophet gave us strict instructions. He told us how the laws were to be kept. Remember the word he used?
What did he say, my brother? Refresh my memory.
Was strictly kept. Strictly kept.
You said strictly?
Strictly kept. Our laws are to be strictly preserved.
Oh, strictly preserve these laws. Absolutely. Absolutely, brother.
Oh, without a doubt. We must also extend the learning as well, but we should keep but no, we do have a specific doctrine that we ride with. That is very true.
Brian, say it again.
I was just saying that if the prophet said our laws are to be strictly preserved, strictly kept. So that means that in any instance where there's a violation, there's a dilution, there's confusion, there's an infringement on what was said, what was written, because it was very specific, like your brother said. The words are very specific. It needs to be addressed head on. And I thank you for that, Brother Dog. They always asking the hard questions. What do you think that they might assume or might believe or might think that we might dodge? You put them right there on the table and hit them.
Yeah, brother. See, the thing is this. A lot of Moors, and I got to tell you, a lot of Moors don't want to get into this. But we are at the crux of time. We are at the age of time where the door is opening. As a matter of fact, the door is open. The gate has swung open. And now it's up to us to teach the pure, unadulterated teachings of Ali here in America. So the old is, as I say in that song, old Moors, step aside. third and fourth, come on, let's ride. They're going to be upset with it, but they're going to be all right, because we're going to open the door, metaphorically speaking, for the babies that come behind us. And we're going to set the tone so they don't have to come up against the stuff that we up against today. Peace and Islam, family. Thank you, my brother.
One more thing. I need you to talk on this.
Yes, sir.
There's no other society that says, in order to be a part of this society, you got to live according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. There's no other society that says your leadership must live according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
Woo!
In order to be supported by the membership.
Right.
So what's wrong with that?
Fact,
How can that hurt our people? Is there any way whatsoever for any harm to come to any one of us if that's how we're living our lives? And if not, then you please elaborate a little bit more for me, for anybody else that wants to know. I then attack the prophet when there's no other institution, no other organization that puts that has with that's how you must live your life. Now that I'm gonna say
peace more. And again, I'm going to elaborate. The brother said, why is it that we are the only organization, or rather, he didn't say it like this, I'm paraphrasing, but we are one amongst many, or one of the only organizations that you have to live according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And in order to propagate this faith, you must live according to love. And again, like I said, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali has the answer for Asiatics here in America and all around the world. If they get this message, the oppressor will not be able to oppress. And we're not talking about some crazy running in the streets revolution. We're talking about a revolution of the mind. We're talking about a type of mind frame that will unite everybody, and we can take our place in the affairs of men and take charge of the whole situation that is falling apart here in America and abroad. Prophet Noble Drew Ali has that answer. But the problem is, back in the day, in the 80s or whatever, they have turned the Moor Science Temple of America into a boys club. Some turned it into a cultish type of feel. Some people did all of these things. But we're working hard to show that this is a normal way of life. It's not that serious. It's natural, it's breathing. Don't let the feds or the turban or the gods fool you. It's natural, it's breathing. And people don't want you to know that, because when you know that, you have a saving power that can put this oppressor on his behind you, and you can keep moving forward and build a nation. With that, let me play one more clip real quick. So, because the brother asked a question, I want to touch on some of this stuff. Okay, here we go.
But the point is this, just wondering, like, what evidence are they coming with? Well, why did he actually name the Moorish Science Temple?
There we go. We've seen that. Here we go.
First, he the second name, the Moorish Temple of Science. Right. And
he was wrong. That was wrong. That was wrong.
Suffix pertaining to mean ish. So he's right. Y'all just like those dark Moors.
Y'all hear this? This is it.
Suffix pertaining to mean ish. So he's right. Y'all just like those dark Moors. Y'all not the original people. Y'all
hear this?
The people that's
one more time. One more time. I'm gonna do it one more time.
Suffix pertaining to mean ish. So he's right. Y'all just like those dark Moors. Y'all not the original people. Y'all not the people that's in question.
Y'all hear that? He said that ish.
7, I believe it's chapter 47 or 48.
He said that ish
identifies who the 12 tribes of Israel is.
We're gonna get to that in a minute. But he said the ish doesn't mean you are the Moors. It said you're like that. Obviously, he hasn't seen a dictionary lately.
Right.
Obviously, that he hasn't seen a dictionary lately. So what I did was, it's petty and silly, but obviously he hasn't seen a dictionary yet. Here we go. If y'all can see it, this is a dictionary, family. Any dictionary, an older dictionary, will probably be more sharper than this. Anyway, ish. A suffix used to form adjectives from nouns, which in the sense of belonging to.
That's right.
Not what he said, belonging to. British, Danish, English, Spanish, belonging to. After the manner of. having the characteristics of, like babyish, girlish, moolish, addicted to, inclined or tending to, bookish, freakish, near or about, 50ish, 70ish. Now this is child's play. This is why I say we don't want to turn you on the coast. This is child's play. But I'll read this. The dictionary, let me say it slow, Wonder Twins, deactivate. And listen, the dictionary definition of suffix ish is belonging to, for example, if you are Scottish, you belong to or are a citizen of Scotland. This is from the Internet Dictionary. So if you are Moorish, you are a citizen belonging to the Moorish people, Moorish Science Temple, Moorish Science Temple of America, whatever you choose to call it. Okay, Scottish, British, etc., etc., etc. So there we go. All right. Now, let's move on. Brother Morshai, you haven't talked yet. That's child's play. Brother, I don't even want you to even touch that, Nasir and Morshai. Let's go to the next topic, because that's just child's play. It's foolishness. You know, Brother Morshai, what's going on, my brother?
All is well. All is well.
So Robin White say, so a person can be Moorish, Hebrew, Israelite. Sister, let me tell you real quick. Let me answer that for you. Sister, you absolutely, if that's what they want to be, they sure can. You know, this is a free country. You can be whoever you want to be. Matter of fact, here we go. Here goes the Moorish, Jewish, Zionist temple. So those was Moorish Israelites back in the day. So absolutely, sis, they can be, but you have to understand the doctrine and where the doctrine and what the doctrine is founded on. Brother Nasir, I see you there. What's going on, brother?
Islam, when it comes to the Ish controversy and why it is a big thing within the Israelite vibration is because there's an Ish that is copying them, i.e. the Jewish people. And they have a problem with that because these people have taken their culture and their, not necessarily their culture, but their identity and made it completely European. So that's where they get that's where the issue with the Ish comes from. However, when it comes to us, as I put in the chat, you know, for us, it is belonging to a nationality. The Ish is not the Ish as in Jewish. You know, that's a completely different vibration. So that's just what I wanted to add on.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and that's the thing. You have to become a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America, attend Sunday school, and so you become a goddess of the nation. We can't do everything right here on a 2-hour broadcast, an hour broadcast. You have to attend your meetings, and you can learn this stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard. Get a dictionary. It's really not hard. It's not complicated. I have something that I say in my temple, that once serving Allah, Almighty God, becomes hard, somebody put a Mickey in the drink. Somebody that played some games. It is what it is. So it's not hard, you know. So when we start talking about the Zionist Jews of 1929, it was those that recognized the Moorish and Israelite connection, and they came together and they formed the Moorish Zionist Jews demonstration in Harlem. That's all. They seen the connection. Prophet Noble Drew Ali instructs us. He instructs us that when we read the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, he said that the genealogy of Jesus. This is page 3. These events occurred before 30. What did he say? The desire to know about the life and the works of Jesus. Okay, he said, these events occurred before he was 30 years of age. Now, right here is what he talked about, is that in this book, that what's in this book is not It's not in your holy Bible. And he mentions that the lessons are not in your holy Bible. So if you want to make the connection, you're going to have to look into the Bible. So what does all that mean? That means that our history is in here. Make no mistake about it. Somebody may play the game, put their hand in there, but it's our history. Again, we all one people, but we need to stop looking for the division. Like Prophet Noble Ali come telling us that we need to learn to love instead of hate. Why would somebody try to discredit him of being a prophet? The Prophet Noble Ali said the Moors are descendants of the northwest and southwestern shores of Africa. You can do a research with a European that the records of where some slaves was pulled from, and you will see that that's where they came from. You know, we're not saying that there wasn't people already here, our people that was Moors. The prophet covers that too. He said it went across the great Atlantic, Northwest and South Central America. The prophet covers all bases. So why is it that this slave mind of ours continue to try to separate our people? This is the uniting of Asia. What did the prophet mean by that? He means that we are all one people and we need to come together and unite. Period. Stop looking for division. Look for what unites us so we can fight the fight together. We cannot fight the fight separated. Period, point blank. Brother Nas, are you there, my brother?
Indeed, what's going on?
I'm going to hit a few more of these, and then we're going to move on.
48, he identifies who the 12 tribes of Israel is. The Hebrew brothers right now, all throughout America, all throughout 47 to 48, he identifies who, I believe it's chapter 47 to 48, he identifies who the 12 tribes of Israel is. The Hebrew brothers right now, all throughout America, all throughout Europe, they're breaking this down right now. It's right in your circle 7 and 48. He identified who the 12 tribes was.
Let me ask Nasir. Nasir.
Indeed.
You a devout Moorish American Muslim.
I'm working on it.
No, you good.
Indeed.
Can you find in chapter 48 where the prophet identified who the 12 tribes is?
Not at all, brethren. I'm looking right now. And no.
It doesn't exist, brother.
Exactly.
It doesn't exist.
Even if they meant 47, the answer is no.
It still doesn't exist.
Even if they meant chapter 45, the answer is no. Indeed.
What I'm pointing out is this. What I'm pointing out is this. I know what he's trying to say.
Indeed.
But due to a lack of study, you can mislead people. See, this is why I wanted to do the show. Elders, this is why I wanted to do the show. Because somebody that hears this will believe that the Prophet Noble Ali said that in chapter 48. He said that in chapter 47 because they don't have a Tahaka Bay. They don't have a Nasir. They don't have a Moorish Hawk to counterbalance this. So, elder, this is what this is about. This is not about black news. This is what this is about, brother, sister. This is not about that other people's station. This is about them babies that hear that and know that the influence over there is high and they believe it and run with it. And then they repeat it, and then it spreads like a cancer. Islam? Anybody want to chime
in? If I may, real quick, even in chapter 45, if that's the one that he was referring to, what does the prophet call them in verse 6? All of these are what? Muslims.
Muslims. Right.
That's right.
All right. So he's very specific. Now he wasn't teaching us somebody else's doctrine secretly. He was openly teaching our doctrine.
Absolutely.
So the thing is, you're not going to erase. You're not going to erase Islam. You're not going to erase the Muslims, the Muslims, depending however you want to pronounce it. You're not going to get rid of the Moabites. It's not going to happen.
Let me address this, Mr. What you want? He said Abraham isn't a real person. Okay, stick with that, brother. But have you read the story of Abraham, and could you bring some significance, relevance in it that could change and save your life or help somebody else save their own life? If not, okay, Abraham is not real to you. But what is real to you that we can come together on? Because this European and this system that is upon us, that oppresses us, that's real. So we don't have to agree on that. Forget that. Why are you pointing out that? That's okay. It's okay. See, because I can read the story of Abraham and pick out the significance of the story and use it in my life today to put food in my mouth. So what if you can't? But whatever you can, maybe you can take that and pass that to somebody else so they can put food in their mouth. But no, we're going to spend our energy talking about Abraham ain't real. What type of foolishness is this? Moorish, come on in, my brother.
Okay. All right.
Talk to me, brother.
So Israelite, we're going to like I already qualified.
Bro, can you turn your mic up a little bit? Yeah. I might have yelled my own hearing out. I don't know what that is.
You can hear me now?
I can hear you good, my brother.
All right, so I already qualified the term Hebrew because the Bible actually gives the etymology of these terms. So Hebrew, we gave where that was first mentioned that in the Bible. Everybody can go back. So now we're going to qualify this Israel term or this Israelite, which is the Hebrew definition for Israel is striving for God. And then the Bible gives the etymology for that. In Genesis 32, Jacob wrestled with a man until day broke. So now I'm going to tie these doctrines together right here. Genesis 32:28 was the first time the word Israel was used in the Bible, right? The man that Jacob wrestled with was himself. In Genesis 32:28, it states, and he said, your name shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel. So Jacob's name was changed to Israel right there. For, this is the reason why, for you have struggled with God and with men and have prevailed. So now let's go to the doctrine of the Moorish Science Temple of America. We know that there are two selves, the higher self and the lower self. This is what Jacob was dealing with. This is what Israel, this is what an Israelite is. An Israelite is it's an esoteric religious term. It's not a modern nationality, right? So the higher self and the lower self, the higher self is Allah in man, the human spirit. The lower self is the carnal self, the body of desires. The man Jacob wrestled with was a foe, and without a foe, a soldier never knows his strength. And thought must be developed by the exercise of strength. And so this carnal nature or lower self became a foe that man must fight, that he or she might be the strength of Allah made manifest. So this is what an Israelite is. We are Israelites in that sense, on that level right there, because we Moorish American Muslims are striving for God.
Islam. I was going to share this, and I want to read this to the family real quick. This is from a Dr. Ben's lecture, if I'm not mistaken. But let me read this real quick. It says, Dr. Benz goes on to relate the quote-unquote Black Israelite immigrants from Northern and Eastern Africa merged with the indigenous groups in Western Africa to become the Fulani of Futa Jalan, the Bornu, Kamin, and Lake Chad. They also formed the parent stock of groups such as Ashanti, Hassa, and Benai. Ephraim mentioned in earlier posts. I want to go down a little bit. Thus, every so-called African American has Israelite ancestry in their family tree, whether he or she knows it or not. Even in the very crucial of slavery, the descendants of West African Hebrew captives in America struggled to keep their heritage. Now let's stop right there. The prophet tell us that the Moabites, the Canaanites, I read that in the beginning, that they ran, they escaped from the wars. When you look at Dr. Ben, he said the immigrants from Northern and Eastern Africa, that ain't nothing but Canaan. There is no demarcation that separate Canaan, shall I say, Asia and Africa for real, except for the Suez Canal. All of it was one. Anyway, again, It say their distinctive tradition became submerged in Christianity, but always a part of oral tradition via the so-called Negro spiritual, which praised the memory of ancestors and kinsmen like Moses, David, Joshua, Daniel. Since the African-American conviction of having Israelite ancestry antedates the Civil War, it is not surprising that the earliest Black Hebrew congregation to establish in North America was founded in the 1800s in Chattanooga, Tennessee by F.S. Cherry. Anyway, you can go ahead and Google F.S. Cherry and get your history lesson on. So why did I read all that? I read all that to say that there is no secret that the Moors acknowledge the Israelites of old time and our connection in modern times. There is no secret. Period, point blank. So, my brother Nasir working on a time machine. So, so anyway, I'm gonna let y'all do this because this stuff is a joke, and like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on it. Brother Mr. What? I'd like for you to call in, my brother, because you saying a lot of stuff, and let's see if you can call in and talk to the fam real quick. The phone number is going up, and we can have a conversation, brother. Remember, we not arguing. We like to have a conversation on Moorish World TV. And if I get loud, I'm just a hyper guy, man. Don't pay that no mind. Call on in, talk to us real quick. Like I said, only thing I wanted to do is touch on this a little bit due to the fact that the children are watching and they are convinced that that is the fact just because it's been on some channel or something. Period, point blank. This is not, we're not tripping off what is being said. I want my brother to call in if he can. Mr. What you want? I want you to call in, Mr. What you want? You know what I mean? I want you to call in, Mr. What you want. Stop using those foul words. It's just a conversation. Why are y'all so sensitive? All right, let's get back to the topic. I'm gonna go on and we're gonna talk about this. The Prophet Noble Ali teaches us the divine origins of the Asiatic nations. And in that Holy Quran of the Moorish Temple of America, the Prophet Noble Ali teaches us that the key of civilization was and is in the hands of the Asiatic nations, the Moorish. Now, he's trying to give you the definition of who the Moorish is. He's not trying to fake you out. He's not trying to say, I'm only saying this right now because they're going to kill me. He's not trying to dupe you. He's saying the Moorish, who were the ancient Moabites and the founders of the holy city of Mecca. Uh-oh, up jumped the boogie. Now what you talking about, Drew Ali? I seen some pale herbs over there, and you looking a little bit dark olive, and you saying y'all founded the holy city of Mecca. I say do your research. Let me move on. The Egyptians, who were the Hamites. Remember, Egypt is in Africa. The Hamites come out of the ancient land of Canaan. They're the son of Ham. Remember, the Egyptians who were the Hamites and of the direct descendants of Mizraim, the Arabians, the seed of Hagar, Japanese and Chinese, the Hindus of India, the descendants of the ancient Canaanites, the Hittites and the Moabites of the land of Canaan. Brothers and sisters, again, we don't deny this connection. Stop trying to get this divide cock on. Don't worry. There we go. The inhabitants of Africa are the descendants of the ancient Canaanites from the land of Canaan. Now, if you subscribe to the Israel doctrine, and I ain't talking about Izzy, I ain't talking about my brother Izzy, shout out to Israel doctrine, But if you just subscribe to being a Hebrew Israelite, I think, I'm not sure, but I think just maybe the Garden of Eden is in the land of Canaan. We say the same thing. We're related. We're brothers and sisters. So stop the foolery trying to start all this division. Okay. I see nobody want to call in. Anything you want to touch on, my brother Nasir? See if any questions in the chat.
There's a lot going on in the chat.
Have you seen any questions?
No. Nothing
Okay.
we're even getting to.
They just having a good talk. So let's say this. Let's say this. To put the nail in the coffin. To put the nail in the coffin. Here we go again. Trying to use the tactic of divide and conquer. I must remember this now. We just did a show where the fake video was put up. You know, the fake video was put up that Tahaka Bay coming at the Jew, at the Israelites. Now it's going on. Islam family, welcome to the show. Tell us who you are, where you from, what's going on with you.
What you want?
Who I'm talking to?
Hey. When I first noticed you, when you was bringing Sinetta in for like on that note, and I started checking them out. So I said, going on, the live stream went on. I went in now because I like to see. I feel like this.
Talk to me, family. Hold up. Family, this makes me feel good because this shows me that it's all worth it. It's all worth it. Brother, I take a lot of hits, but I be weaving. I be weaving and dodging. Sometimes I got to take one. You see? But you tell me you first seen me bringing Sinetta and Polite together, and now you on the platform, and we're going to get this information right. Talk to me, my brother. This feel good. One love.
Well, this my thing. This my thing. I like to listen to my people. I've learned in my walk, I can't tell my people how to react from being victimized by slavery. And especially when it's a slavery that don't really have a definition, because it continues. So I learned to look at the different reactions, because not everybody reacts the same to the same crime. So then I look at these religions, for example. Let me pause this right here. All right. I look at the Bible. I look at the guys. Let's say us, we've been in America for 500 years enslaved, and all of a sudden, you watering your goats, and something start talking to you in a burning bush. And you're like, whoa, so whatever's talking to you in a burning bush convinces you as God, and that you got a promised land over here in Africa, you got to get to it. But before you get to it, you got to rescue the people first. So now you're going to rescue the people. And let's say we're on our way to Africa, and then this guy tell you, well, look, I need y'all to kill all these people in South America. Because they just ain't going to let y'all just start walking through like that. It's 1 million of y'all strong. So now this guy turns around and tells us to genocide every indigenous population that don't even know he exists. Is that our example of how, and if that is, then how can we blame the Europeans for believing in this ideology and practicing it on us?
Well, let me tell you one thing about us in the Moorish Temple of America. We look at it as a historical account, and when you really read the Bible, that's why I say some people got to join the Moorish Temple of America and get these lessons, because these lessons are to be taught by those who are qualified to teach them. When we look at this Bible, man, this Bible is not to be read by the faint of heart. This Bible is a serious book.
Now wait, because look, this is what I want to do. All right, everybody listening, the Moors, I know that there were some Muslims inside the chat, so they listening. All right. Let's take a look at the text, for example. Let's not look at perceptions.
Right.
Group of people is being rescued from a so-called. All right, let's say
I like that. I love your example, brother. Don't get it twisted. I love your example.
I want to keep it on the text though, because a lot of people are switch it up to saying, well, this could perceive this way, and this person reads it and it means that.
let's just stick to what it says, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, great. Let's go.
What it's saying is that, let's say, for example, you come to me, I'm minding my business. And this is why I brought up the fact that Abraham lied to Pharaoh. When he was on his way to Egypt, according to the Bible, he didn't say, Sarah, we got this almighty God who just told me to leave this country with not knowing nothing. He's going to take care of us in Egypt. No. Abraham describes the African Pharaoh as some evil person that's going to murder him and marry his little female and live happily ever after.
Right.
So this thing is this, Sarah, I need you to tell this man you're my sister, because the African pays dowry. See, they knew that. So they knew when the African would have married that woman, he would have took care of the brother-in-law and would have broke bread with him. So Abraham knew if he came in there, he wouldn't have had to work. See, the whole thing is to not earn it.
Right.
So now he go in there, he come to Pharaoh as if his wife is his sister. Pharaoh give him all the gold, the silver, the cattle, everything. Then this God appears out of nowhere and threatens Pharaoh. As if Pharaoh the one that did the lying.
Right.
Now Pharaoh go back to Abraham, your forefather, and say, look, man, why you didn't tell me the truth? You already defile myself. You're a roach. Just take your woman, the money I gave you, everything, and just get out of my country, dog. Because you're bringing curses on me.
Right.
So at the end of the day, you got a God that blessed the man for lying and cursed the man for telling the truth. So look at this story.
I got you, brother. But let me say this. We in the Moorish Temple of America, we know that 18 years is missing out the Holy Bible. So if a person would take 18 years out of the Holy Bible, wouldn't you think they will put something else in the Holy Bible?
All right, but what I'm saying
so Moors, what I'm saying is, no, hold up real quick, brother. Moors do not perpetuate these stories and these fantasies. Moors look at the
Moors not perpetuating the stories in that sense, but they're using it as their so-called foundation. They standing on that.
No, actually, what we're doing is we're looking at what is practical and what is reasonable and what agrees with history.
Exactly. So it's reasonable for me to tell my wife, look, man, this man is going to...
If that's the part you want to tell her, listen, let me say this, my brother. The Moors come out a line in genealogy where they say Lot had sex with his daughters.
Right, wait a second.
We don't believe that mess.
Let's not get too much in the Moors. Let's just talk about the actual text that the Moors are adopting. Because
what text are we adopting? Okay. No, you good, my brother. You good. I understand we get worked up. Just watch that. But listen what I'm saying. Let's talk about this. Let's define what part of the doctrine are you talking about that the Moors are adopting, and then we can work. Fair enough?
All right. When I told you in the comment or in the chat, I told you, and I don't really chat, I just thought, just working with it. That's why it's the first.
Brother, I love this, brother. Come on, brother. You don't owe me no explanation. I love you, brother. Let's go.
In the chat, I said that Abraham did what he did, but according to the Apostle Paul, Abraham was an allegory. When we look at Pharaoh, we got the mummies, which will show you an actual king that was considered a god or a prophet in the flesh. Right here, we got the body, we got the mummy, we got the tomb, we got the temple, and lined with the stars. But when we're looking at Abraham, this is a story that we're being told. It's nothing. There's no type of archaeological proof to this for a person to huff and puff about it. So before we know, see, we can huff and puff about Kimmy, because somebody in the comments say, well, where's my references? Look at Kimmy. Look at them temples lined up with the stars. That's sacred geometry. That hasn't been produced by any other religion over time. So I was saying that this one, we're looking at what the doctor could say, well, wisdom what you want. What would you offer, or what would you say? I'm saying that you got a God that's telling you kill these innocent people because you got to get to his promised land as if he can't do it himself. He got you making these acts. Then that's not healthy because no African or no black person has ever been in a position to kill any damn thing. We don't make weapons. So how can a God tell us to destroy this whole race and when we were not do it? That can't be the concept of what the way we think. It's not in the laws of my yacht. It's not written on the walls.
But when I asked you, I said, what portion that the Moors use that you're referring to?
When you say Abraham, you're talking about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which is the so-called patriarchs of this covenant that gives that says.
You ever read
the whole covenant, the whole Torah?
Listen.
5 books of Moses.
Let me say this to you.
Let me ask you this.
I'm about to hit you with something real quick.
I don't know much about the Moors. So let me ask you this. What part of the 5 books of Moses, because if you ain't got the 5 books of Moses, you don't got nothing else. So what I want to know is, what part of the 5 books of Moses are the Moors endorse?
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. And you got to hear me. And then I'm going to let my brother Nasir come in. I'm not going to speak for me. I have enough sense to know. No, check it out. The Moors endorsed the Holy Quran of the Moor Science Temple of America. That's our holy book. That's our holy book. The Holy Bible is not our holy book. That's fair, right? But I was about to share something with you, but come on.
You're saying that the Holy Quran is what you stand on. That Holy Quran you're talking about, does it have a person named Moses that spoke to some guy in the burning bush that gave him the laws?
No, it don't. Not in the Holy Quran in the Moor Science Temple of America.
Oh, so the Holy Quran don't stand up on the 5 books of Moses.
I'm about to share with you. No, it doesn't have that story in there. We don't have that story.
It doesn't have the Abraham story in the Quran?
No, it don't.
It don't have the Isaac and Jacob story in Ishmael in the Quran?
No, it don't, brother. Not at all.
The Noah story?
Not at all, brother.
So
that's what I'm telling you, brother. Brother, you gotta stay tuned to the Moor Sharp World TV, brother.
Let me ask you this, because this whole conversation is about Abraham and why you felt, or why I was.
I'm about to give it to you though. You asking, but I can't respond. I just need one question so I can respond.
That it's a Quran not sitting on the laws of Moses.
No, you won't let me respond. I'm trying to let you get it off. I'm looking for what is the specific question?
That's a specific question. It's 613 laws that a man named Moses that no one knows existed God, and this is what the Bible and the Quran that I know of is sitting on, saying that this is his story. That these events took place and these prophets are the prophets that led us up to the point where we at today.
Right. So
I understood the Bible and the Quran to be. So when I say we're part of the law is the first 5 books in the Bible that was written from Genesis to Deuteronomy.
Well, let me say this. I'm gonna say this, and I think I can speak for a lot of Moorish Americans, brother. And don't hear with your passions. Our doctrine is the Holy Quran of the Moor Science Temple of America. That's our holy book. Everything outside of that is a point of reference. It may be ambiguous. It may not be clear. But everything outside of that, brother, we're talking about a whole lot of stuff in thousands of years. But our doctrine is the Holy Quran of the Moor Science Temple of America. So we do study the Bible. We do study the Holy Quran. Matter of fact, we get our power and authority from the Holy Quran of Mecca. But we understand that there's...
When you say Quran, you say Mecca.
Okay, the Holy Quran of Mecca is the Quran which you would call Sunni Muslims or Shiite Muslims follow.
So why would you tell me that that's not sitting on the law of Moses?
No, I said the Holy Quran of the Moor Science Temple of America. See, you got to study what Moor science is.
Are you saying that the noble Israelite spoke to God like Moses spoke to God?
No.
It was revealed a Quran that's different from what the Arabic wrote?
No, it was not. He not spoke to God. The Holy Quran of the Moor Science Temple of America was divinely prepared by the noble prophet Drew Ali. There's a difference.
The reference is saying that it's not coming from the laws of Moses, which means he can't know about Abraham according to the Bible.
If the laws that you're speaking upon is founded on universal principle, absolutely. But if they're not, no.
Well, the Moorish should know what laws they're doing don't follow, because when they try to justify the Bible and start talking about the laws of Moses, you can't hide behind the
No, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying, my brother. If we use the Bible as a tool for teaching, then what we do is we look at what is practical and what is what can be gelled with the teachings of our holy prophet Noble Drew Ali. Let me say this. We don't need a Bible to define our prophet. Our prophet Noble Drew Ali is just as Moses was to his people if or if he did not exist. Our prophet Noble Drew Ali is our Muhammad. Our prophet Noble Drew Ali is our Jesus. Our prophet. So we don't need other records to define what our prophet did. You understand? We don't use the Quran and to verify the prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prophet Noble Drew Ali is a prophet sent by God, divinely prepared. We accept that. We're not asking everybody else to accept it. We accept it. We know it works. We know what it is.
All right, so are you experiencing with the so-called prophet Noble Drew Ali experience when he had his revelations, or are you just going by what he so say wrote and you got to study what all these other men wrote?
No, what I'm telling you, hold up,
wait a minute. Because you're telling me about a man that you allege had a relationship with God enough for him to get some type of communication.
I never said that. You just said that. I never said that. I never said God. I never said Noble Drew Ali communicated with God in the way in which you implying.
I didn't say you said that. You said what Moses was to his people.
That's what he is. I'm talking about the value. Now you good, my brother. I love you, brother. Come on. I love you, brother. I like this.
You just told me that what Moses was, which is a man that said he spoke to God face to face, and now you got to lead his people from.
Listen to me. You're misconstruing what I'm saying. Let me stop you, brother. Let me stop you. You're misconstruing what I'm saying. What I'm saying is what Moses was to his people, the greatness, the importance.
All right, let me ask you a question. Because was Moses a mediator to his people, meaning a God?
Listen, I'm trying to, bro. I understand your question. You asked it 3 times. Listen to me. Listen to me. When I say what Moses was to his people, I'm saying the way that they looked to Moses.
Only because he spoke to God. They wouldn't have looked at him like that if you wouldn't have said he had no conversation with no God.
Well, I'm not, but this is what I'm saying. If you're gonna let me finish, go ahead. I'm gonna let you. Hey, this is my brother's show, and I'm gonna let him take it over. Let's go, brother. Teach the people.
You telling me?
Because you ain't gonna let me answer, brother. Let me explain what I'm saying, brother.
You're supposed to be.
Are you gonna let me explain what I'm saying? Or I'm gonna have to cut you off and explain? Because you've been going on. Let me explain. Can I explain?
Man spoke to God or he didn't. You can't call him a prophet if you didn't have no divine relationship.
Who defines? How are you going to define what a prophet is to me? Who are you? Listen. All right, brother. I'm gonna have to let you go, and I'm gonna have to explain this to the people because you're just going on now, and you don't want to hear what I'm saying.
I could have just stayed. I could have moved on to the next channel. But look, you be blessed in this long-lived Pharaoh. You heard me? We back and we taking over. Believe that.
Yes, right. Pharaoh. Pharaoh is a Greek term now. You better change that up. All right. You better change that up. You said long-lived Pharaoh. You know that Pharaoh term came in when the Greeks conquered, which is Kemet. So you better change that up. Get your study up. Now, what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this, family. When I say the prophet Noble Drew Ali is to us like Moses was to the Israelites, I'm talking about the personification of those of the person that's going to lead them out of their oppression. I'm not saying that the prophet Noble Drew Ali spoke to a bush, spoke to God. No, when I say the prophet Noble Drew Ali is to us as Jesus was to the Israelites, I'm saying the way that they looked at him to being sent by God to uplift them and take them out of their oppression, prophet Noble Drew Ali is the same to us. Now, his method may be different. The way that he do it may be different, but universally it's the same to bring us up out of oppression. It has nothing to do with prophet Noble Drew Ali talking to a ghost or a fire. It has nothing to do with prophet Noble Drew Ali splitting the sea. It has nothing to do with none of that. It has something to do with that he was divinely prepared, meaning that his mind was in tune with what we needed to bring us up out of this deep illness, sleepness, and oppression. That's it. Nothing spooky. This book is divinely prepared, which means his mind could comprehend the medicine that we needed. And he pulled it together and put it together. And he delivered it by the will of Allah to help bring us up out of this condition. That's it. You're looking for something spooky. Long live Pharaoh. If that's who you want, who you talking about? Pharaoh Allah that was just didn't debate? Who you talking about? It's a Greek term, family. Stop it. Anyway, Nasir, come on in, my brother.
Islam more. All right. First thing I would say from my perspective, you know, our holy book, of course, is the Holy Quran of the Moorish Temple of America. However, we derive our power and authority from the Holy Quran of Mecca, the big book as we call it, you know. So those are two reference points. Now, when it comes to the burning bush and, you know, soothsaying and stuff like that, that's not our tradition. That's not our prophet's traditions. Prophet Muhammad, you know, didn't speak to bushes and do that whole thing, didn't see in the future and all the rest of that stuff. And Prophet Noble Ali is the same exact way. So those things have nothing to do with us. Now, he said something very key. He said, is it written on the walls of Kemet? Now, number one, you have to ask him, has he ever read anything on the walls of Kemet? Because that's the situation that they're going through right now. If, you know, and that sounds very spooky. Everything in existence is not written on the walls of Kemet. You know, we have our own traditions. If that is his tradition, that's fine and dandy. However, that's not our tradition. His whole thing about, you know, I mean, he was rambling for a nice little minute. You know, at the end of the day, what it comes down to is this: is that we have a full doctrine. We have everything that it takes to become what we call a proper citizen. You know, we have a history. We have, now that's a big thing that's missing from our people, trying to find out who we were and who we are. And those things that we have, those are answers that we have from our perspective. Does it actually, does every Asiatic in America fall under that? That's a matter of choice. Either you do or you do not. You know, it's up to a person. However, you know, I mean, as far as that brother though, I mean, he was all over the place. After a while, I started just phasing out and just reading what was going on on the chat, to be honest with you, you know, and I don't know, man. I mean,
let me add on that what we subscribe to. Let me clarify to the people what we subscribe to, man. Shout out to Pharaoh and Seti, man, because I'm going to get them on the show too one day, because we're gonna unite our people, you know, and we can have a difference of opinion, and without being reckless and crazy. What people need to understand is that we do not need a form of doctrine to verify our prophet, although the form of doctrine does verify our prophet. When a prophet says that he is sent from God, if the person accepts that, it is what it is. Man ideal is his God. And as man unfold, his God unfold. Meaning that what you see right now, if you believe it to be true, then apply it to your life. If you stick with it, it's going to unfold. And maybe you'll move on, or maybe you'll develop in it. Who knows? But our Prophet Noble Ali comes with a lesson and a blessing and a doctrine that's distinctively ours. However, it's universally applicable. It is what it is. We don't need all this other stuff to define the Moorish American Muslim or Islamism.
Not a doubt of contradiction.
We don't need, but it does confirm it. It is what it is. You know, so now what do we do from there? Do we argue whether that stuff is real or whether it's fake, or do we try to find out what we can do to work together? If you want to debate a brother, this is not the place for you. You know,
we have an issue or a character flaw within our community or within our people that feel like everyone has to be one thing in order for us to fight oppression. right? That could be, you know, that couldn't be farthest from the truth. You know, the only thing I need for everybody to do is to get your doctrine, whatever it is that you believe, whatever it is that you know, whatever it is that you follow, and let's all move in a common direction. It ain't that hard. Another thing I want to say, I know we're not speaking, you know, towards, you know, any other organization, but what I must say is this: is that these ideals and this ideal of separation and conflict with each and every group started with one specific group, and we cannot let that one specific group always control the narrative. You know, you dig what I'm saying? So I come from Chicago. In Chicago, you know, one of my guys, you know, I have a lot of peoples. You know, some of them are 5%ers. I'm talking about Nation of Islam, Hebrew Israelites, the Sarset Society, Moors, Muslims, everybody, and we all get along perfectly fine. Next thing you know, we turn on the TV, and now we find out in another part of the world, in New York, there's conflict. You know what I'm saying? So those things don't apply to us. Those ideals don't apply to us. And just because someone gets on a show and starts rambling off a bunch of stuff, which part of it was true, part of it wasn't, that doesn't make it valid or even worth dealing with in an extended period of time. Islam.
And like I said, you know, I will not in 2017 continue. I will not in 2017 continue to address every little thing that they throw out, because it's a lot of it is baiting. You know, a lot of it is baiting for a debate.
Indeed.
That's what it is. It's baiting for a debate.
Indeed.
But when I seen the title plastered across the screen that Prophet Noble Drew Ali is a Hebrew Israelite, and these brothers are man, this is the prophet saying, man is truth and falsehood strangely mixed.
Indeed.
And these guys, they took a true doctrine, strangely mixed it with their understanding, and gave a concept because they had a swag with it, a back and forth, a tag team sort of swag, and they delivered it to the people. And because our people are a rhythmic people, that the rhythm of their swag in their delivery could convince people that this is accurate. But as we shown here, there was nothing accurate about what they're talking about. They wasn't even suspecting that the host was trying to implement the vision right before them. They was clueless, that because I noticed they kept saying, one of the peace to my Moorish brothers, you know, I ain't trying to do this, but that's not their intent. But the host's intent, like I said, he already put a video out talk about I went against the Hebrews, never did. Matter of fact, my brother, one of my Hebrew brothers, he had on a video, he said, I almost fell for that, Tahaka. He said, I almost fell for that. And then I thought about it. We good. And I said, bro, you know we good. You know, so, and now he carried on with the, where do these people come from? But I want to know, where you find these people? Remember you had the other guy, he got the uncle on the fez. Man, it never stops. The attack on the Moors never stops. Brother Moorish Hawk, are you there?
Peace. Yeah, I'm here.
Talk to me, brother. Add on, brother.
Well, you know, people don't want the Hebrew Israelites and the Moors to get together. You know, they want us to go at each other, and it's a clear connection. You know, what we differ at is on identity and citizenship. We deal with citizenship. We are Moorish Americans. We are American citizens. They say they are Hebrew Israelites. Well, at the end of the day, you're here in America. You see, so you have to, you know, proclaim your nationality since you're here. So other than that, everything else is basically nothing more than theology. The Bible is theology. It's basically the study of the nature of God, which is ultimately the study of the nature of the universe and the nature of ourselves, the knowledge of ourselves. That's what this Israelite stuff is about, like as I gave earlier. So it's about studying ourselves, and that's what's all through the Moorish doctrine in the Holy Quran, in our Holy Quran. Right. So the caller was trying to make a spectacle by making everything literal, talking to a bush That all of that stuff is not literal if you don't really study, and you don't study Hebrew, and you don't study Kabbalah and stuff, and you don't study the original construct of the words. You won't really know what that stuff means in the first place.
Well, excuse me, Moorish. That's why I say if you really want to learn about these teachings, then you need to get with someone who has studied these teachings.
That's right.
Man, this book right here called the Bible is a book that have got millions and millions of people believing that a sperm can fly through the sky and impregnate a woman. Man, now let's stop. Let's stop. And it's not even in the book, actually, but those who narrates the story. So I'm not going to argue with people about the book, because I know this book have influenced millions and millions of people to see this book in probably a million different ways. So I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue. I can't argue that point. You know what I mean? That's not my thing. My thing is the Holy Quran of the Moor and Temple of America, divinely prepared by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and whatever connection I can find in the Bible, and whatever connection I can find in the Holy Quran of Mecca, most importantly, the Holy Quran of Mecca, because that's where we get our power and authority from. And that's ball game, case closed. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, more shot, but I just wanted to screenshot this, and I'm going to get you right back.
Okay.
So the brother seemed to be so desperate to try to come at us, right? Give me one second. Islam, family. Islam, give me one moment. Give me one moment. So the brother seemed to be so desperate to come at us, right? For whatever reason. I don't know. I like it. I like it myself. I like a good fight every once in a while. I ain't got no problem with it. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, the brother seemed so and then he said in a way like he's not trying to come at us, but it just keep coming. It just keep coming. So look, first it comes with the Wonder Twins, and this is the title, the Wonder Twins. Prophet Noble Drew Ali was a Hebrew Israelite, but here are the Wonder Twins. Yeah, that's the real Wonder Twins. We ain't want the imitation. I want to go look at cartoons on Saturday with Masario and look at them ones. I don't want these ones. I want that one. And then he bring this guy up to try to come at the Moors. Now, you know this ain't no more. We don't do these things. He bring this guy up. Come to find out, he tells me that, man, I knew something was wrong with this guy. So anything to cause division is going to be employed. It is what it is. So I'm not going to address every single and everything all the time, but it just goes to show that at some times, like this situation here, I had to address it because they started quoting the Holy Quran as if the prophet said these things that they said. They started quoting ish. What is ish? As if they don't have a dictionary or something. Whatever the case may be. Who's on the phone? How you doing, family? Talk to me. Where you from?
Islam.
Islam, brother. One speaking with.
This is I was chatting on the bottom of the chat on the YouTube Moorish Bay 6789. I'm calling out of Seattle, Washington.
How you doing, my brother, out of Seattle? What? Walla Walla. I got some Moors out there, but what is it called? Walla Walla or something? Walla Walla. I do, brother. I'm not playing with you, brother. I'm worldwide. I blew up. No, I'm playing. Don't say that being a Muslim today. I blew up. Brother, talk to me.
I'm good, man. I appreciate what you're talking about, and I think one of the things, man, that the whole Moorish community and the Asiatic community got away from is the essence of purpose in just the human existence. And when you go into the Moorish Quran, Circle 7, it deals with the purpose of why we're here. And it says, one of the things in the Moorish Quran, it says, man is destined to reach deity life. And this goes back to the Canaanite teachings, it goes back to Sufism.
Teach, brother. Buddhism. Teach.
Right?
Teach.
And so all of the teachings, like when people talking about the Quran and the Bible, the Quran and the Bible, they're written in esoteric language, and people sit here and they argue about history. And no disrespect to Sinetta, but even when I look at the Sinetta TV, they talk about Kemet and the pharaohs. These were people who had attained, what the Buddhists call enlightenment. And going back to Islam, people glorify, Saladin. They made the movie The Kingdom of Heaven. But Saladin, he destroyed the Fatimid Empire. The reason why the Fatimid Empire was destroyed was because this was the first time in Islamic history that it was openly acknowledged that the Quran was an esoteric book, and it was based on gnosis, or what the Prophet taught us knowledge itself. So when you go back into the teachings during the time period, it was widely known, and the sheikhs at that time period, they made it known to the Islamic world that the teachings of Islam was an esoteric teaching. The Noble Drew Ali returned us back to that teaching. And during the time period, you find an ethno-religious society that still exists today called the Druze. And they have similar beliefs like us. They believe that the Quran, the Holy Quran of Mecca, is an esoteric teaching. And if you take it out of its esoteric context and you start arguing about history, because there's things in the Torah, the New Testament, the Quran, they don't make sense. Like if you read them on a historical level, because they have esoteric roots, they have Kabbalistic roots, they have Sufi roots, and Noble Drew Ali returned us to this teaching. And this is the teaching that if it's not understood, we'll sit here and we'll argue about history and concepts all day because it's dealing with something spiritual and not something physical.
Facts,
Right.
facts, brother. Absolutely. I agree 100, brother. What's your name, my brother?
This is I was writing on the bottom of the post, Moorish 6789, but my name is, my proper title is Yona Bay.
Yona Bay, brother. I appreciate you, my brother, and I hope you can email me because I would love to have you come on the show, brother. I like to talk that. I'm a Holy Quran of the Moor Science Temple of America, brother. I can talk about the Holy Quran of the Moor Science Temple of America 24/7. That's me. That's me. I'm not a history guy. I'm not. I know a little bit about history. I know a little bit about this, but that. But I tell you what, applying this to my life and making it work and putting some food on the table and helping somebody benefit and take their life to the next level, learning how to control the ethers, learning how to get in touch with that part of you that can say be and it is. Oh yeah, that's me. Oh yes, praise the Lord. That's me. So brother, I hope you can email me at taharkabay@yahoo.com, brother, and maybe we get on here have a talk. And I know my brother Nasir and my brother Reniciel, that now we talking about some Holy Quran Moors right there. You know what I mean? And Azim and we talking about some Holy Quran Moors right there. And so we're going to do a show about the esoteric, the deeper meaning. And I don't want to use the term esoteric because I don't want to spook nobody out. I'm talking about the power of the Holy Quran, where we can activate the power within ourselves by subscribing to the teachings in the Holy Quran of the Moor Science Temple of America. Would you be willing to do that, my brother?
Oh, without a doubt. When we say esoteric, let's take out the spooky.
Yes.
Let's take out the misunderstanding. Esoteric means it's Gnostic or it's gnosis.
That's right.
The inner teachings.
You're dealing exactly with the inner side.
Hey, Nad. Hey, Moorish, break down that for me. My phone shut down. I'm going to get that one. Break down. You said the inner teachings, brother.
Yeah, eso. The term eso means inner. And then you got exoteric, which means the outer. So that's how that works right there. See, because you got, it's all about, when you talk about Sufism, the science and the knowledge is hidden inside of the words, inside of the language. You have to have, that's why you should have a dictionary or several different kind of dictionaries. Like I use a metaphysical Bible dictionary. You need these several dictionaries because it's all hidden inside of the words, the concepts. And also, so people don't know how to read. They know how to pronounce the words, but they don't know how to read the stuff. That's why they make fun of everything that don't make sense, because like he said, some of that stuff don't make sense. And the authors of, mind you, the Bible is not just one book, it's multiple books that's just compiled into one. So when you talk about the Bible, a lot of those stories are not meant for contemporary history, because a lot of this stuff was written hundreds of years after the events. A lot of this stuff was written hundreds of years after the events.
Peace. Give me one moment, brother. One moment. Finish up, brother Moorish.
Okay, yeah. So a lot of the stories was written 100 years after the events, but the stories that was written it has lessons within them. So instead of trying to look at everything as literal, trying to use it for history, you have to find a lesson in that history and apply it to now, and that's how you use it, like you said, for your life.
Facts. And I looked at somebody in the chat say that he understands the bias now. Well, brother, I am biased. I believe, I have faith, I have confidence. I know that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali has the antidote to this sickness. I'm biased. But I do have enough patience and tolerance to understand that other people may see God, Allah, whom you may serve, a different way. And we can work together under these circumstances. Whereas though you don't see God like me. Moorish American Muslim, I believe we have been shown favor, that we have been rescued with a theology and a philosophy and a way of life that removes this oppression. I'm biased. But I'm not biased to the point where I'm unjust and I will look down or judge or disrespect somebody who's not subscribing to the way that I subscribe to. I want to work with you. I want to solve some of these problems. It is what it is. Peace and love, family. We got on the line.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Perfecto calling from Inglewood, California.
Perfecto!
It's long.
I'm driving, and I just want to say, you know what I mean? I'm somebody who's really studying, you know what I'm saying, the Prophet's words and all. And I want to say this, man. I've been waiting for a show on the Hebrew Israelite connection, Hebrews and Moors. I've been waiting for this.
No, this ain't the one, though. Perfecto. This is not the one. But come on, brother. I got you.
All right, I just want to say, well, we have the two good brothers. You're good brothers to target. But we have the two
I'm a good brother, too. Hold up, Perfecto. I'm a good brother, too. What I do?
If you don't mind, can you break down, I believe it's chapter 47. I know you just read it.
Right.
I really need some clarity for chapter 47.
What part, brother?
The divine nations.
Chapter 47. Okay, I'm gonna put it on the screen. But Perfecto, let me tell you that. The prophets say something to the effect that some people we gotta hear with patience their absurdity. You know what I'm saying? Some people, man, we just gotta listen because some people are telling us what the illness is and how we gonna address it. So sometimes when a caller call or somebody on the line, sometimes you just got to hear it. Brother, I've been in the temple a long time. And sometimes people come in and I hear the same story 1,000,001 times. But guess what? I have to exact my patience so I can try to remedy the problem. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes we're going to have to entertain and use the lack of a better term, entertain and listen and have some patience.
I want to say this, man. Like, I know, like, on Instagram, right, when there's a beautiful girl on Instagram, she'll have 1 million people praising her. You look good, Mom. You look good, all this. But if one person shows some sort of, like, hate or troll, she'll spend her energy to actually respond to that particular person.
Oh, right, right.
And I'm relating it to you because there are a lot of good questions in the chat room. I had some, there was a sister that had some. But it seemed like this brother here who's clear his intentions was not to build, but to cause division.
Absolutely.
The one that got all the light. And so I'm just saying that, like, someone like me, I look forward to this show. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I'll ask this question again. Can you guys please break down chapter 47 if you don't mind?
Let me ask you a question. What part of chapter 47 that like
but and also remember she's supposed to teach you. So the grammar is a little off for me to understand. Okay, so when it says the Egyptians, right. I don't have it in front of me. Excuse me, I'm driving. It says the Egyptians.
No, you can paraphrase it. I got you. I got it in front of me.
Yeah. I just want to hear. I just want to hear the y'all brothers break it down.
No,
what I mean,
I need to know.
You know what I'm saying?
I need to know what type of clarity you're looking for. Because to me, because you got to remember, to us, it's very clear.
Like I said, I keep it on. All right. When it talks about, all right, can you read, just read it.
Okay, here we go. I got you, brother. Let me screen share it so the people can see it also. The 47, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's Egypt, the capital empire of the...
I'm sorry. Excuse me, brother. Chapter 45. Excuse me.
45. Do I have 45 up here? I got it. I got it right here. The divine origin of the Asiatic nations.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. And you know what? I pulled 3 chapters out that was specifically I might have to talk about, and praise the Lord. I got them on deck right here on the screen. Here we go. The fallen sons and daughters of the Asiatic nation of North America need to learn to love instead of hate, and to know of their higher self and lower self. This is the uniting of the Holy Quran of Mecca for the teaching and instructing all Moorish Americans, etc. The key of civilization is in the hands of the Asiatic nations. The Moorish, who were the Moabites, who were the ancient Moabites, and the founders of the holy city of Mecca. The Egyptians, who were the Hammatites, and the descendants of Mizraim. The Arabians, the seed of Hagar, Japanese, and Chinese. The Hindus. Okay.
Stop.
Huh?
All right. So are they saying the Japanese and the Chinese are the descendants of Hagar? Or are they saying they're Hammatites?
It says that the Egyptian who were the Hammatites and the descendants of Mizraim, the Arabians, the seed of Hagar, Japanese, and Chinese.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Let Nas chime in. You there, Nas? Your mic. Your mic is muted. No, stay there, perfecto.
Islam.
Islam.
One thing that we need to understand is that the punctuation is not always in the best of places. So when we read this, we have to kind of decipher it as well. He was not saying that the Chinese and Japanese were the seed of Hagar.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically saying the Arabians, the seed of Hagar, and the Japanese and Chinese, if you want to. That's the way it's read. So it's about the placement and the punctuation. And that's where a lot of people get really tripped up when it comes to reading this. But that's my vibration. Go ahead.
So are you saying who is the Japanese and the Chinese the seed of? And I'm gonna tell you why I say that I think the punctuation may be off, but I'm gonna tell you why I say they're the seed of Hagar, because everything else has a descendant in this chapter. You follow me? When you look at the Hindus of India, the descendants of the ancient Canaanite, Hittites, and Moabites of the land of Canaan.
Mm-hmm.
The Asiatics, the nations of North, South, and Central America. He's making all connections. And so when I'm looking at the Arabians, the seed of Hagar, Japanese and Chinese, I make the connection right there. Because when you look at it, it's a period behind Chinese. The Egyptian who were the Hammatites, the direct descendants of Mizraim, which should have been a period, maybe, I don't know, or Esoteric, something going on. But then the Arabians, the seed of Hagar, Japanese, and Chinese. You follow what I'm saying? And so it seems like all of this connects. The Hebrews, the Hindus of India, the descendants of the ancient Canaanite. So we got all of these connections here. But what we're going to do is this. We're going to do this. Let's do this. Let's call up a scholar. Because I don't profess to know it all. You know?
Right.
I
was going to say, because who was Hagar? Hagar was the Egyptian, a descendant of Mizraim.
Yeah, but we gotta look at migration and all of that too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We gotta look at migration and things like that. So we're gonna call up a scholar if I can get him on the line. I'm gonna try to get him on the line. I know it's 10:12. Some people got to get up and go to work in the morning. But we can definitely get into this chapter and chop it up. Let me screenshot this. But it's going on 10:12. Everybody, some people do sleep. Yeah, so some people do sleep. But anyway, the purpose of this show, man, was to bring clarification. You know, it's 10:12, and I think we'll do a show on the historical doctrine of the Moors. Sister Dana Manichi did a beautiful presentation on this very thing right here. You know, a beautiful presentation, and you can catch it on Moorish World TV. It's uploaded. But with that, we're gonna rock out because I think we cleared up everything that needed to be cleared up. I think so. Do we have any questions? Let's see if we have any questions before we go up out of here. I want to say too, we trying to bring this information to your city. To your city. That's what we're trying to do. And if you support us coming to your city, please support the GoFundMe, Moorish World TV Tour. Moorish World TV Tour. We coming to your city. Matter of fact, I'm going to see if I can get Sister Dana Manichi on here live stream. This year, we doing some teaching. We doing some teaching. So if we can get her on here live stream, we gonna get busy. All right. So I know I watched the Dana Manichi demonstration, and I actually edited it, and so I got a good concept of it. And basically, all of our people started one place and migrated out. Period. Point blank. We all family. It is what it is. You late? I'm about to close out, brother.
All right, definitely. Islam to everybody. I just wanted to give my message.
Say something.
2 minutes.
Say something, brother. You good?
Islam. It says, starting from verse 3 in chapter 45, the Egyptians, who were the Hamathites and of a direct descendant of Misraim, the Arabians, the seed of Hagar, comma, Japanese and Chinese, period. And then we start the next verse. The Hindus of India, the descendants of the ancient Canaanites, Hittites, Moabites, and the land of Canaan. So from my interpretation of the text, Japanese, Chinese, and Hindu are all being related in this particular chapter right here. Right. When you look at the culture of Hindu, Japanese, and Chinese, they all have a similar culture. And this is how I was able to put the pieces to the puzzle together. I got some blogs on this as well, touching on that. But I just wanted to kind of chime in. I heard one of the brothers speak about punctuation in this particular chapter, and that's right and exact. But I believe, based on my interpretation, that when we're dealing with the Egyptians, who were the Hamathites and of a direct descendant of Misraim, well, we have research that shows that Misraim was another name of Menes, who was Narmer, the uniter of ancient Egypt. And then the prophet is letting you know the Arabians, the seed of Hagar. Now, Misraim also has connectivity to Arabia. And, of course, that would take a whole nother show to get into the research on that. And then I believe that the prophet is going into the Japanese, the Chinese, and the Hindus, being the descendants of the ancient Canaanites, Hittites, and Moabites. If you look back in ancient Chinese art, for instance, the further you go back, the more you're going to see Moorish figures in their particular iconography. So I just wanted to chime in on that to give certain people, who are confused, the starting point for some research.
No problem, my brother. Anything in closing I said, we up out of here. I'm hungry.
Islam. I just want to say, shalom to my Israelite brethren, Islam to the Moors. And, that's about it. Peace and love.
Peace and love. What's up, boys? Hot?
Islam. I just want to say it's a connection. Shalom to the Hebrew Israelites. I just want to say we all worship in the same oneness, the one God. Allah is the Most High. If you go to the Quran of Mecca, you go to chapter 87, you'll see the surah is called the Most High. So you can make the connection between the Muslims and the ancient Israelites or Hebrews. So with that, I say peace.
Peace and love. And I want y'all to know we're going to have Lord Abba on here on Tuesday at 8 o'clock. I'm trying to figure out who this Lord Abba is, who this Sean Way Hill is. And we're going to have him on here. Family, I appreciate y'all. I hope, man, we can go towards more of a structured learning platform. I hope I ain't got to scream at the top of my voice and get all worked up and address all these miscellaneous, foolish issues, but I will. I ain't got no problem with it. It is what it is. Shout out to my brother Randall Anderson Bay. I can't wait to go on tour and take my brother Randall Anderson Bay and my brother Nasir with me. Mufti on deck. I need y'all to support the Moorish World TV tour. It's not no rap tour. I might spit a few bars, but it ain't no rap tour. We're going to have some presentation and we're going to have some workshops to get the work done. One of the workshops, we're going to have Moorish Hop, who is a real estate agent. He's going to show how to acquire yourself some properties. And then I'm going to show you my method on how I acquire properties, distressed properties, how to get them up and running, how to get a few dollars, you know, and where we can start building these Moorish towns as the prophet talk about. So if you are able, $5, $2, $10, we are going on a campaign until the spring, until we can get a lump sum so we can take the show on the road. It's time to take the show on the road. We cannot be crying about all of these Moors that's talking this crazy stuff, all of these Moors that are traveling around the country and spreading misinformation if we don't support our own that desires to give the real information. So if you support the real information, go up in there and support. I'm telling you, I can't fund me traveling around the country, plane, hotel. I can't do it by myself. I can't. It is what it is. I know I look like I got that bread. I know I look like I got racks on racks. I know all that. But for real, it's all a stunt. This is all a show. When this is over, I'm going to eat ramen noodles. No, I'm playing stuff along. But I want y'all to support that Quincy Robinson. I am coming to Dallas. I am coming to Dallas, brother. My brother D Red, and my brother in Houston. We just got to link up and we just got to get the date ready. I got 3 people that is willing to bring us to Dallas, you know. So some of this stuff ain't gonna take the GoFundMe. Some people are ready to bring us there, get the venue, and let's get it popping. It is what it is. But it is, man. I know. It look like I got that bread. I know. Because the prophets, I know y'all gonna say, because the prophets say, you Moors are rich. I know. They not saying, did the prophet say something like that? They say the prophet say you Moors are rich or something. That's what they say, not saying. You Moors are rich. Well, let me tell you something. That's what they say. But I can't take it around the country. I can't afford plane to Chicago, back home, plane to LA, back home, hotel, food. I mean, somebody watch my dogs. I got a couple pit bulls, you know what I mean? Because I ain't got no pistols, so I got a couple pit bulls, pit bulls, same thing. Yeah, it is what it is. Couple cameras, you know, because back in the day, way back in the day, I used to do some things that prohibit me from. That's another story. That's another show. I got to go. Peace and love, family. I'm up out of here. Man, I enjoy y'all. 2017 is going to be a beautiful year for the Moors. We did beautiful. Hold up, before I go, we did some beautiful things in 2016. I'm going to come on tomorrow and do a recap of what we accomplished in 2016. I hope y'all there. We're doing a straight recap of what we did in 2016. We are for real. We are for real with this thing. In 2016, we did some raw work on changing the dynamic of what people thought about more science, you know, and what people thought about us demonstrating more science. So please, family, This is the link. I'm putting the link back up. I'm putting the link back up. I want y'all to support us. Let's do it. Let's have fun. And we're going to teach this more science. I love y'all, family. I love y'all, family. Queen Karasi, you are in Baltimore. Deshaunda Nelson, thank you for your donation. Anderson Bay, thank you for your donation. Quincy Robinson, thank you for your donation. Dad, we going to travel the world. I love y'all, family, man. We up out of here. I got some new music coming this year, but we're going to have a ball. And at the end of my show, we're going to rock out. We're going to rock out, you know. We're going to rock out. I appreciate you, family. I'm gone. Next show tomorrow night, we're going to do a recap on what we've done. And because this is some, we did, let me say before I go, I know I can talk a lot, but we did a lot of stuff in 2016. Man, starting from April the 10th, we covered a lot of ground. And I said, do you realize that? Y'all realize that? We covered a lot of ground. Man, we're going to be looking good, man. We looking good. I appreciate y'all. Queen Karasi, we need to sit down and we need to get busy because you in Baltimore. We got to get busy. I want you to put your link in the chat. We be here tomorrow. Let people know when you build your channel. I'm with you. I'm with you, Queen. We got to get this rocking. Let's go. Now, let me see if I can throw something up real quick. I got things to do, man. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Brother man hungry. Here we go. Here we go. It's a new day. You know what I mean? This is my people. Y'all need to go support this one, too. I'm about family. Peace and love. Wisdom is the consciousness of the heart that man ain't gotta want. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. The truth don't change. And law is a part of me. But wisdom is the consciousness of the heart that man ain't gotta want. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. The truth don't change. And law is a part of me. But wisdom is the consciousness of being conscious that you're conscious of being conscious that you're conscious, because you can go back to sleep or return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. Wisdom is the consciousness of being conscious that you are unconscious, dripping in the cares of the world, and I found you. And now the rock of your salvation is only a step away from you. Rock out. Rock out. Everything you used to say and all the things you kept around you. Oh, if I can get you to think, I can get you to free yourself. You're Moorish American, be yourself. No prophet, no Esoteric, that's what he taught. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, cause wisdom is the consciousness of the heart that man ain't gotta want. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. Cause truth don't change. And love is a part of me. But wisdom is the consciousness of the heart that man ain't gotta want. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. Cause truth don't change. And love is a part of me. But wisdom is the consciousness.
It is the knowledge of the lower self. The sensing of powers of man himself. Okay, now let's break down the wisdom. It is the consciousness that man is thought. That light and man are one. The north is north. And power is but illusion. That heaven and earth and hell are not around, above, below, but within. Which in the light of thought becomes naught, and Allah is all mercy, all power, all wisdom, all knowledge, all truth. We got the proof. Making surety that man will become deity. The ladder of salvation reaches from the heart of man to the heart of the Creator. These steps will make you greater. Believe, faith, fruition. That's the current mission. See it all through and become one with the truth.
Wisdom is the consciousness of the heart that man ain't gotta want.
That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. Cause truth don't change. And law is a part of me. But wisdom is the consciousness of the art that man and God are one. That's how it ought to be. That's what we're taught. That's how it ought to be. Cause truth don't change. And law is a part of me. But wisdom is the consciousness.
All right, let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? We're gonna leave out like this. We're gonna bring some new songs 2017, but we're gonna leave out like this. We're gonna leave out like this. Yeah.
Islam. Trying to be your friend, man. Trying to be your friend.
Let me say this. Like I say, Hebrew brothers, we are brothers. So-called of the European persuasion, that's one thing. We understand who the Hebrew Israelite is. It's our brother. Those who scream black power, those our brothers. Those who scream Canaanite science are our brothers. We are the same people. Moors are Africans, and Africans, those who are descendants from the inhabitants of Africa, must unite or die. Period, point blank. Stop looking for what divides us and try to find out what unites us so we can teach our people. If you disagree with me, teach your doctrine and teach them to love instead of hate, that we may fix this problem. And with that, I'm trying to be your friend.
Help me out. Meet me halfway. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. So let me be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. Hey yo, I used to be a thug until I met the prophet. Now I'm all about love, truth, peace, and freedom till I return to a law. One day we gon' meet them. I'm all about justice. That's the focus of the message. Sometimes when the eggs make me wanna forget the lessons, I'll be all up in my passion from all the Moorish passion. All things considered, I start laughing. A grown man with a ponytail, another calling us Neanderthal, and he all pale. I mean, for real, this is what it comes to, my brother. We got nothing better to do to talk down to each other. Yeah, we can be scholarly, or we can get better. We are the children of a father on the breast of a mother. Hey, we people out of pain trying to murder us all. You need to chill, my brother, and tell the elder the same. Cause on the real, my man, I'm really about them things. I can take the feds off and get it back in the low and return to the state where they used to call me go. But no, I'm rolling with the prophet of the law. One love, not war. Standing on that four, and I'm holding the square. The compass and the axe, that might be too deep, but let's not get off track. See, our prophet was an adept. Do you know what that is? An Egyptian adept. It's a brother who lived by the universal science developing the Nile. We call it Islamism, but it's the same, my child. Set at the foot of a master. I train you up, but I might have to bang you up. I still love you. And those that's talking that the same Islam, everything the prophet bought is in the Quran. All that other stuff, prostrate and cover up is just the start. The nearest place to me, the law's the heart. You can dress like Imhotep, but you can dress like a herb. While the Moorish American Muslim unifies the word. You can say what you want about Dr. Yo, but he gave you different variations of the same thought. You don't appreciate that. You won't appreciate me. Appreciate the holy and divine true Ali. People refuse to admit it. He's the first that ever did it. You just hope that the Moors would forget it, but we're here, strong, alive and well, resurrected from hell, with a story to tell. So pay attention and listen and consider the facts. You know it's humanly impossible for you to be black. I guess a Chinaman is yellow, a Mexican is brown. Just think for a second how ridiculous it sounds. We can turn it around, but it must be nice. It's okay to disagree, but we don't have to fight. Cause if we have to fight, you know how we get. I'm still learning to love, but I'm not there yet. So work with me, fam, and I'ma work with you. And let's all work together and do what we gotta do. Cause on the real real side. We haven't made no progress since 1929 when the prophet left the flesh. We got the Asiatic president, men murdering men, psycho shooting up a club and don't see his own sin. And those that say they conscious, that took your fuck, move straight to Hollywood, living it up, and y'all figured it up. Hey, they grinning, but it was your bread to help set it up. Praise the Lord in the soul, cause it can blind you. Unfortunately, some people get paid to disguise you. Oh yeah, I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never, and you will never. You ain't never, ever, ever. You ain't never met a more like this, and you ain't never, ever, ever gonna be one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. So let me be your friend. Peace and love. Oh yeah, you ain't never met a more like this, and you ain't never, ever, ever gonna meet one again. So let me be your friend. Peace and love. So let me be your friend. Peace and love. I wanna be your friend. Good. Let me be your friend. All these things. We ain't trying to be enemies. I wanna be your. You let me be your. I wanna be your friend.